and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is Apex Greatness. I am your host, Russell Broderick. Oh, fuck, this way. Did I get it right?
He knew. No, time out. Audience, he's an asshole because we talked about this beforehand. I wasn't going to just let you do that. I knew you were going to do it, so I'm going to call you out on it.
It's fucked up because I genuinely didn't mean
No,
to.
he did. He did.
There's no way you could have forgotten
no one
that
will
quickly.
ever
I
believe
said,
me.
watch him mess up.
No
I was like, watch him do it on purpose.
one will
And he
ever
did.
believe me. Oh, man.
It was like literally 2 seconds ago. It wasn't even like 5 minutes ago, 8 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago. It was 2 seconds ago.
But this way is Dario Albuquerque.
We still do it.
Yeah, we're still doing it. I still have to tell people who the fuck you are.
Yeah.
Off camera is the fairy pot matter, Lindsay Lehman.
Hello.
What is going on, fam? How are we feeling this?
Yeah.
We are doing a trade deadline special today. So, in front of you is a timeline of the past 24 hours that happened Thursday, right? From basically 12, well, not 24, but from 12:05 to 3 p.m., right? 3 p.m. was the trade deadline, or 4?
4 p.m.
4 p.m. Are we sure?
I thought it was 3.
I'm pretty sure it's 3.
I might be wrong then.
It'll be on your screen. I'm sure it's 3.
Yeah.
But
I'll look at it just for that, just to
I
make
think
sure.
it used to be. No, I really think it's fucking with you because I think it was 4 like last year. They started moving it. They moved it from midnight to prime time for ratings, right?
Yeah.
And it works because I tune in every year. It's great.
Yeah.
I love it. But
All you gotta do is be on Twitter early. But follow the Woj.
I don't know. I like the jump. I wish we had some like smoke effects that we could like. If we could do it, if we ever stream the trade deadline, we'd have to have some crazy special effects going on.
Yeah,
But-
we have to have access to the Woj.
True, that would be cool.
But I don't think we'd pay him enough.
Oh, we wouldn't pay him at all.
We would just be constantly refreshing his Twitter feed.
You know what we do? We just play the jump as we're doing.
But this is a timeline from 12:05 until the end of the trade deadline. So we're gonna go through some of the events, some of the main trades, and some of the main non-trades from the deadline. And we're gonna start with Kyle Lowry and the Toronto Raptors. So
And how Drake acted like a baby back needy little girlfriend when he thought Lowry was going to leave and called him during a press conference, and now he's still there.
I forgot all about that. I was like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
I was like, maybe he was just being nice. They've gotten through a lot. You don't know.
Yeah,
I got Drake back. I got your back, Drake.
Drizzy, I don't think he really needs it. Okay.
Come on, man. The guy was hated on for so many years for not picking a team. There were all those memes of him being on different teams, putting on different teams, and now he finally picked the Raptors, and now Lindsay's shitting on him.
Yeah.
I don't know if he really did pick the Raptors. Like, I feel like it's always been the Raptors, but he just switches every year depending on who's nice. Like, and also like how nice the jacket looks. Because I feel like that's what he wears it for.
Yeah, I could see. I can see what you.
I mean, look at all the jackets he's wore. It does not look. It looks like some trendy shit. You know, it's not
I
like.
mean, I knew someone who didn't watch sports at all, but they had like a whole bunch of sports caps to match their outfits of different teams. So it could just be a fashion thing.
Yeah, facts.
Oh, for sure. But the Raptors are currently in 11th, right? They had your Lakers on the line, right? They had Philadelphia. They had Miami, pretty sure.
It was Philly, Miami, and the Lakers.
It was Miami. Okay, I thought so. But I was like, in my head, I was like, they have Dragic, they have Hero. And then I remembered, oh, yeah, that was the thing. Miami did not want to give up Hero. That was the deal breaker on that. I don't know what the deal breaker was with Philly. And I'm pretty sure Kuzma had to go for you guys. to get Kyle Lowry over there, something like that.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm not sure if I would have been happy with that or not. I don't know. Like Kuzma's been doing okay lately. Like,
yeah, I'm not sure if it was Kuz, but I'm pretty sure that seems like where the trade would probably go. Yeah. Who they did trade though, who they did trade in Toronto is Norman Powell, which shocked the shit out of me. So Norman Powell, career highs this season, right? 20 points a game. He had a 40-point game this year. He got traded for Gary Trent Jr.
and Rodney Hood.
He's almost 50, 40, 90.
Yeah, he's having an awesome season.
Yeah.
And my thing is, if you're gonna keep Lowry,
well,
I don't know what. There's a lot about that particular trade, and we can just get into that now because we're talking about the Raptors. And there's a lot about that trade I really don't understand.
I really don't get why the Blazers got rid of Trent Jr. at all.
Me too. I agree with that.
How old is Kyle Lowry? You want to? Oh, if you were speaking to my friend, he'd bring it up. He'd bring up the fact that 23 years ago, Gary Trent, his father, got traded from Portland to Toronto.
Oh no shit!
And he's getting traded from Toronto to Portland,
completing the circle.
And he says gematria, but
my goodness.
Nope. I mean, I don't question him anymore. I kind of
that's fucking hilarious. But Kyle Lowry's 34.
And it was also within 41 games. Crazy. Both 41 games. Crazy.
Really? So it must have been both. Oh well, that's even weirder because
gematria.
I was like, that's even weirder because we're in a weird season this year. I forgot.
Yeah.
But what you wanted to know his age? Kyle Lowry's 34.
Okay. That doesn't make any sense. Like they probably just felt like they were gonna get screwed on a trade.
Yeah, and Powell. I imagine Powell's at the end of his deal or something. I gotta look at that.
But now it's like Kyle Lowry, he's just gonna leave.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah. Okay. So look, he's got a player option at the end of this year. That's why they're getting rid of him. It's because they want to save the money. That's the number one reason they want to move. And
they're clearly on rebuild mode.
I guess that's what it seems like, but I just don't like that trade on both sides. Because if you're Portland, you have Gary Trent Jr., who, when CJ McCollum went out, was the reason that you guys could sustain games even at all. Because it was Damian Lillard and fucking nobody. Enes Kanter was getting a couple. He's good at rebounding, but not a scorer.
Yeah.
Now, you bring in Norman Powell, who I guess can do that, right? He's totally capable of bringing in the scoring. But I don't know. I just don't know if I like that deal for either team. I don't know what the point is for Toronto.
I think they're just planning ahead.
I can see what the point is for Portland, because in reality, Portland knows that once you get to how many more games to the playoffs? We got like 30 more games, right?
Yeah, something like that.
So at the end of the day, you're gonna cut up the lineup. Lineups are gonna shorten up because your stars are gonna play more.
True.
So they look at it as like, why do we need 3 guards? We got our 2 guys. Let's
Well, Powell's basically a guard. He plays like a guard, to me, I think.
But he's a big boy, isn't he?
How tall is he? 2 seconds.
He's more like a forward kind of.
He's a guard. He's 6'3".
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. So he's like a guard. He's another CJ. Like, that's the thing that doesn't make sense. If Norman Powell was 6'6", 6'7", sure, I get your point. Yeah, but you're just getting another guy that does what Dame Lillard and CJ do.
Yeah, maybe they felt like he was just better than.
I guess, but I found it. I just found this really strange because I think this team like once they got everybody together, because look, Nurkic played 12 games, right? McCollum obviously just came back from injury. He's getting his shit back.
Yeah.
But you have an MVP candidate, right? And I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to turn Gary Trent's 15 into Norman Powell's 20. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Which is
fun math. And Rodney Hood is probably going to get bought out, right? Because Lindsay, he's on the buyout list, correct?
Yeah, Rodney Hood is on the buyout list.
So he might end up getting bought out as part of the trade anyways. We don't know yet.
Yeah.
If that happens before I put this out, it'll be interesting. But I don't know. I just don't know. It really all depends on can Norman Powell take now another level up with the change of scenery. I don't
know if he even has to level up. I feel like if he could maintain where he's at with them, then that's fine. Because I mean, level up will be being the second guy or something like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they don't need him to be the second guy. They need him to be the third guy. It's just crazy to think that they're thinking they're like wannabe big three is gonna be 3 guards.
Hey, when Isaiah Thomas and Joe Dumars and Mark Aguirre won the championship in Detroit, they were 3 guards that were under 6'5". I'm pretty sure they were all under 6'5", but they had amazing defense to go with that. Yeah. And that's something that Portland just doesn't fucking have, and I don't think it's gonna just appear anytime soon. Yeah. So we'll see. I think I'm not sure. I think it's not. I just don't think it's I don't think they've made them better. I really don't. What are they going to do? Score more?
Yeah, I don't.
If you're not solving defensive issues, I don't think you're solving anything for Portland.
Mm-hmm.
So now it brings me to my next question. How long do we sit on Damian Lillard before we think about, like, should he leave? Because I think
he's not. I mean,
yeah, I'm sure he's not. But, like, look at his situation. It's not. I think this is about to plateau here. They've done everything.
Well, they plateaued like 2 years ago, I feel like. But when they got to the Western Conference Finals, I feel like that was when they plateaued.
But Lillard's gotten better since then.
I mean,
he's 30 points a game. He's a fucking savage, and he's probably the most clutch guy in the league right this second, right now. So
yeah, I guess I can see that.
In a wide open MVP race, if they're able to turn this short stretch into a big winning streak,
yeah,
you're looking at the MVP.
If they get to the second seed, I could totally see Dame.
That's what I'm saying, and maybe that's what they're thinking is we're just going to try to score, but in the West, that's going to be a lot harder, I think.
Yeah, it's just, I like the whole thing is Dame. So Dame just signed the huge contract. What was it, last year? Maybe the year before.
Yeah, and
he has clearly stated that he thinks that it's bitching out. Like if you leave, like, or if you request a trade and shit like that, like if you try to do a super team and you don't try to stay with the team that drafted you, he's made a lot of comments about that.
Right.
So I just can't imagine that he's gonna go against. Like, it would just be weird to me.
Yeah, I hope you're right, but I'm just saying, like, there's another part of that.
Honestly, like, don't hope I'm right. I hope he actually leaves and goes somewhere and like actually shows that he could be a freaking champion, because I think he has like all the ability to be a champion. Like,
if you put him next to another guy, because this is my example. I'm looking at Toronto, right? Toronto's the best example of this. They hit a similar plateau before they got Kawhi, right?
Yeah.
If you put Dame Lillard next to any of those major forwards, name your forward, your big-time forward, Kawhi, LeBron, Kevin Durant. He only needs one of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
I'd put him next to. I'd even think about a guy like James Harden, who can just facilitate a little bit. Like, the only thing is, obviously, he doesn't have the ring. But you understand what I'm saying is a guy like that next to Damian Lillard is a championship duo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just wonder if I don't know if that guy's ever coming to Portland. I guess is my point. Not that Portland's a bad place to play. It just seems like.
What about him and Joker? I feel
that'd
like
be sick. But is Joker gonna leave Denver? No.
No. Yeah. No. But I'm like. I mean, who knows? You never know.
Look, we're gonna get into a couple of these deals.
Huh?
We're gonna get into a couple more of these deals here. That
Joker hasn't signed a big deal. He hasn't. You know, like, he might look at it like, yo, you guys aren't doing what you got to do. I'm with this bum ass dude that thinks that thinks he could be a guy only when the playoffs comes and there's a bubble. So you know,
you fucking guy.
Yeah, fuck this. I'm gonna go with.
But I'm just saying, Dame is having a career year, and if this is do or die mode, I think, for this entire thing, because they're gonna have to blow it up soon. You know what I mean?
94% from the free throw line.
He's smashing. He's having a fantastic season.
That's not some shit.
He's having a fantastic season. So I hope that Norman Powell's the guy that can get them over a certain hump to get Damian Lillard in that MVP conversation for sure. But I just am I'm not sure about that move. And if you're Toronto, right? If you're Toronto, I assume you're rebuilding, but then why not just let Lowry go now and get something for him? Because you're about to go, unless he does a sign and trade, which I doubt.
I just think everybody who was going for him, like asking for him, was not trying to give up big pieces, and I think that's what they wanted. Because I think they're looking at it like, if we get a Ben Simmons, we could make a run. That or even draft picks, but like they were probably, a lot of these people were probably like, why am I going to do this if he's going to be a free agent? I could have a chance at him, you know, like during free agent. Is the Melo effect? Like, I mean, definitely not to that level, but Melo back 6 years ago, 7 years ago, when he was leaving Denver and he like, for whatever reason, the Knicks was stupid and fucking traded all of that to him. But in reality, they didn't have to. They could have just waited and they would have signed him. But that's why everybody. But he is not at that level. Like Melo was like arguably a top 5 player at the time. He's nothing. Like he's not. You know, he's not even like he's barely an all-star. Like fuck this.
And the Raptors ended up getting a couple of second-round picks with their dealings with the Kings and the Jazz before the trade deadline.
Oh, good. So maybe they can flip like 5 coins, and maybe one of them will be Draymond Green.
You heard? But what they're gonna do is gonna be the same thing they did with fuck, who did they do that with? What the Warriors did? Remember when KD left? They did a sign and trade.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying. If they don't do they don't have a history of doing that.
Who? Toronto?
Yeah. Did they do that with Kawhi?
No, but Kawhi probably was less willing to help.
Well, I know, and I get what you're saying.
I could totally see like Lowry being, you know, Lowry's been with the organization his whole career, you know, like I could totally see him saying whatever, like we obviously aren't gonna, and he's probably looking at it as, you're rebuilding, I want to finish my career, so let's do a signing trade. I could totally see them doing that.
Let's transition to Denver, because you brought them up a second ago. I wanted to talk about that. So Denver made 2 moves. The first move was they got JaVale McGee in the morning, right? Which the last time JaVale McGee was on that team, the Denver Nuggets were the 3 seed, and they were unstoppable at home, and their offense was fire. I'm just saying, that team was great. You remember that team?
Yes.
Yeah. With no stars?
With all of Melo's teammates that he should have had, if he wasn't so selfish and didn't try to get traded in the middle of the year, should just waited. Like, that's a situation. But Kyle Lowry wasn't being selfish in this situation. Melo was like, Nuggets, get me the fuck out of here. I want to go to New York. I want to go hang out with my wife on TRL and chill. Fucking ridiculous.
Who's his wife?
Lala.
Well,
remember Lala from TRL?
Ex-wife.
And MTV? Oh,
getting big somewhere. Sorry, Melo, but you get... Don't sucker punch me.
You hashtag Honey Nut Cheerios.
Oh.
You don't know,
What
now you
the
know.
fuck?
Anyways.
Wait, is that the KG thing?
No, that was a...
Yeah, that's the case.
You want to hear that story, Lynn? We could tell you that story real quick.
Yes! Story time!
No story time. No.
Kevin Garnett.
We have legacy breakdowns. Save the money for later dates.
There's no way we're doing a legacy breakdown for Carmelo.
But we might do one for Kevin Garnett. And let me tell you something, my friend. He's my favorite player ever, and that will come up. Vince McMahon, I guarantee you.
Okay.
It will fucking come up.
So I'll get story time then?
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yay.
But Denver Nuggets, right? They traded Gary Harris. They traded, who else was in that trade?
RJ Hampton and a first round pick.
But the main piece would be Aaron Gordon.
So to do like a bring back from what we one of our older shows, you did mention that you think that they should go for someone in the trade deadline that could be a good second guy. Do you think this does that for you?
No, 100% no. I hate this, and I wanted to talk to you guys about this because maybe I'm missing the boat on Aaron Gordon. I wanted Bradley Beal on this team. This is not him. This is not Bradley Beal. This is a sick dunker who clogs the paint, which I guess because they have Joker, they can do that. But is he a good passer? Like, is he like excellent on defense? But like, does he do anything besides this shit? Is what I'm trying to figure out.
What does
he just started shooting threes? He just started.
Can Bradley Beal play defense?
Can this guy play defense?
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Like, you're saying you wanted Bradley Beal.
Because I think it's because Bradley Beal is more of an offensive firepower than he.
Yeah, at least Bradley Beal's 30 a game.
What I like about this is they now have more versatility. Bradley Beal being able to shoot and all this shit, like they could shoot. Like Denver does not have a problem shooting, but if you got to attack, you got a different like kind of guy now. Like you got a guy that can attack the basket. That's something that people have to account for now. If you're giving this dude, a guy that should have won at least maybe one dunk competition, a chance. I mean, pretty much one-on-one coverage, just going straight down the lane to dunk on people. Like it makes it so much easier for him, and it'll make people like wean off of the Joker a little bit more. Yeah. Maybe Jamal Murray would have more space. Like it would space them out more.
This game we're watching was on the 19th. He played Brooklyn. He shot 7 threes, or he made 7 threes. He's getting the 3-pointer like as part of his game, but this is a brand new part of his game.
Yeah. I like this addition.
You really like it? I just think maybe it's because he plays in Orlando. That's fine. I'm okay with that. Maybe I hope to learn more about this guy because I watch a shit ton of Denver. Yeah. So I hope to be wrong, but to me it's just like we just went through the logic of it, and I guess that's sound fair logic. But in my head, he's not the guy for me. But maybe that's old thinking. I hope he proves me wrong.
Well, I mean, obviously you'd want more. Like if you could, but it's like you can't. You're not gonna get one of the stars. Like a lot of these stars.
You and I think Jamal Murray should have been traded for Bradley Beal, or I think he should have.
I would have traded Jamal Murray in a heartbeat for. I mean, no one else.
Clearly, Jamal Murray was not on the table this trade deadline because he didn't go anywhere, and they didn't even like get backups.
I don't know.
They weren't focused on that at all.
Yeah. But so
I mean, clearly we're not on that wavelength.
Like it might have not been spoken because at the end of the day, a lot of people think like, I mean, Woj obviously is like a huge source. Yeah. But he gets sources like he gets this information because the teams want him to get the information.
Oh, dude, he came to my classroom one time in journalism class in Oswego. Yeah. He was in Oswego. He was in Lanigan Hall.
Yeah.
And he literally got phone calls from the Memphis Grizzlies general manager just talking to him. Like people were just like, do you want to talk? Like he's got relationships. Of course. I completely understand what you mean.
If they knew that they were going to be trading him at some point, then they would leak that. I think every player, Like even Kyle Lowry was expected to be traded. Then
and he wasn't, which is just so crazy.
Yeah, but that's why I think like you don't hear about those things. You don't know if Jamal did he even does he have a big contract or anything? Like I feel like Jamal Murray definitely could have probably been on the board if it was a big player involved. I feel like they might be like, you know what? How do you like Jamal Murray?
Yeah.
So I don't know how much this changes things for Denver, but if the Lakers are injured going into the playoffs, they just beat the Clippers the year before, as is. They add this guy who kind of changes up the the spacing and I feel like he does make a big difference.
Okay.
I feel like they have a chance at being. I think they make themselves more of a contender.
Do you think he needs to level up, or do you think he's fine where he is? Let's look at this man. Let's look at Mr. Angorn's numbers really quick.
Do you think he's the third or second guy?
So, 15 points a game, 14 and a half, but 15.
Okay.
6.5, 4 assists.
Yeah.
And he shoots 4 threes, these are okay numbers. Am I crazy to just be like, whatever to this? Like, I don't think this makes them better. I really don't. I wanted them to do more with what they had.
Yeah, I think the dynamic of it all is what helps them a little. But
I that makes a lot of sense to me. But in terms of answering your question, I think he's got to be the second guy if he's consistent. He's got a chance to be, because if he can get to 20 points a game consistently, and he's getting
never done it in his career.
Hey, new offensive system, new head coach.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm saying
third guy. But because like playoff Murray, if that's like a thing where he's just like ups, like he becomes a different level in the playoffs every year.
Yeah, but it's only been this 1 year that's happened.
Yeah, so
so let's be clear.
But if it becomes, but I mean, and things.
If they go to a bubble, if they go back to a bubble, then we could have that conversation.
Because things are starting to open up in the world. Like
then we could have that conversation. But I agree with you. I don't think they're going to bubble it up. I think we're more likely to see fans in the postseason than not.
Yeah, exactly. So, but let's say playoff Murray does appear again.
Yeah.
And you get this guy. I think that they could be a threat.
If you can get this field goals from 5 to 8, right? Because he's 6.5 here.
I would just
a game. He's up to 18 points a game.
What if this best year? Let's just say let's compare him to his best year rather than what he's never done before. Because I think that's hard. It makes it very less likely, to happen if he's. Damn, he shoots really horrible from the field.
I know. This is my thing. What you're saying about him, I don't think he actually, he's a.
You don't think he could be like
frustrating player to watch?
You don't think he could be like Blake Griffin?
He's a poor man's Blake Griffin right this second.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We're not going to disrespect my baby boy Blake like that, okay?
Look, he's a poor man's Blake Griffin. These are poor man's Blake Griffin numbers.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying what Dario said about him being Blake Griffin.
No, I'm saying he could be, if he could be that kind of player where he's like a dunker or he drives to the basket, attacks. If he could attack more and just dish out and stuff like that, I feel like it changed the whole dynamic of that team.
In my opinion, the more you take the ball out of Jokic's hands, if it's not going to be to a guy who can score in isolation, that makes your team worse. And that's what concerns me about this. Because now you got to feed this guy.
I guess, I feel like that's part of the Nuggets' problem, though, is they don't really have someone that can create offense for himself outside of Jokic. Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr.
This is a bet on potential still, though. This is still a huge bet on potential. He's only 25. He's only 25.
And they got him for 3 years. They got him. 2 years, and I think he might have a player option or something.
No player options, just the 2 seasons, and then just straight up.
He's going to be an eyeball test.
So this was a conversation I really wanted to have, we never planned this, but I have a question. So for all the so he signed a big contract, like 4 for 80 mil. I think that was his contract originally.
Okay.
And they just go and trade him. Like he did show some type of he was upset with the organization a little bit, but they went and traded him.
Yeah.
We've had players want to leave because they were upset with the organization. James Harden, and it was a big deal. And now we have an organization doing it, and no one batted an eye.
That's what I was. Yes. That's what I thought about the last time we talked about James Harden on the show.
Yeah.
Is where I was like, because even Aaron Gordon, to your point, he did want out at a certain point.
Yeah.
And they did grant him his wish. But guys like, look at a guy like Kyle Lowry, who might have wanted out. Might have. I'm not saying he did for sure, but he might have. Doing this at the fucking before you leave is pretty good sign. And he didn't get what he wanted. And again,
I don't know if he wanted it. I don't know if it was like
you don't think he wants to compete?
Because you see the writing on the wall. Like you see, like, oh, they're talking about trading you. Like I did not know Aaron Gordon was going to be traded. Like, did you?
There were rumblings of it before the deadline. Right before the deadline, though, it was because he was talking about, like you said, being frustrated.
Yeah.
So, but it wasn't more than that. Like he was still going out and
he was not. Yeah, that's my whole thing. Is, I mean, he definitely compared to and that's the thing that worries me though. Like, look at those last 2 years before he got his big contract.
Yeah,
he played really well.
Yep.
Then after you get that contract, you see a decline. I don't like that. I hate when you see players do that. That's a bad sign.
The only thing you can do if you're Denver, like you said, you're looking at the guy. You're saying he's got his 3-point shot a little better this year. He's just coming off a game where he hit 7 threes, right?
Yeah.
This is a good team in Brooklyn, not a good defensive team, but a good team in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And like you said, you're gonna hope that Mike Malone can put him in his system, can get the drive and kick game going, but I agree with you. That's kind of my point. What are we doing here with this guy? Like, I just didn't think it was a crazy, I don't know. And I want to thank the Magic, though, in general. I want to thank the Orlando Magic for giving us pretty much 90% of what we're going to talk about on the show today. Between
we thought this was going to be a dead trade deadline. Like, there was not much. Like,
oh my god, yeah,
like 12 o'clock. I think that's when it started like heating up. But do you think JaVale? And just to add on to JaVale, do you think JaVale adds a threat to like the Anthony Davis situation? Because remember, they had a hard time with Anthony Davis.
If you can put JaVale McGee next to Jokic and they can do like if Jokic plays power forward, and you just put JaVale in the lob spot, I'm not gonna doubt that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I can't tell you right now that that's not gonna work. That should work.
Yeah, because I just like the rim protection. Like LeBron, it'll make it harder for like LeBron to just drive to the basket.
Yeah, well, they needed that bad. They don't have anybody on this team that can do that.
Yeah.
So, that's maybe another reason to get in Aaron Gordon because he's another But that's the thing. I don't look at Aaron Gordon as like a lockdown. Yeah. But again, maybe that's because he plays in Orlando. We'll see.
Like, does he get a lot of blocks or anything? How's his like?
No, he's under like a block a game or something. Like it was like 0.8.
That's what I'm saying. Like maybe he's one of those defensive stats aren't on the fucking stat sheet type of people. But like, I'm not willing to sit here and say with confidence that this guy is a defensive stalwart.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But Orlando Magic got rid of Aaron Gordon. They got rid of Nikola Vucevic
and Al-Farouq Aminu,
and they got rid of Evan Fournier. Which way you want to go? You want to go Evan Fournier or you want to go Vooch? What do you want to talk about first?
Vooch.
The Vooch.
So we're looking at the Bulls, right?
Voochie. Hit him with the Voochie.
Nikola Vucevic is an all-star this season. Right? You're going to pair him you're going to pair him up with Zach LaVine. So Vucevic this year, just for 24.5, 12 rebounds a game, right?
You're looking like Shaq.
Like Miami Shaq, maybe. Shaq. Shaq when he was like 34. But Vooch, the key with Vooch is he's a legitimate center who can legitimately shoot 40% from deep. Mm-hmm. And is a threat from outside. And the 1-2 punch of Vooch and Zach LaVine.
Wait, can he no longer be my background Betty since he's not on the Magic and therefore is getting TV time?
Oh, yeah, you definitely are losing.
Chicago's not getting that much TV time.
That's true. They're not yet.
Than the Magic.
Yeah.
But they traded Wendell Carter, who was giving them 10 points a game.
And
right?
Otto Porter,
who was looking to be bought out, I think. I think he was. Is he on the buyout list or no? So maybe it's another.
Check really quick. Yes, he is.
He is. Okay, so there you go. So excellent trade for fucking Chicago. Who now? Where are they sitting this season?
10.
So they're 10, right? Yes.
They'll be in the play-in tournament.
If you're telling me, I'm taking Chicago over a few of these teams in this spot. Maybe not Miami, and especially not because we're going to talk about them in a second. But I like them more than Atlanta because I like Kobe White was one of my guys from the preseason.
Yep.
I liked him. They kept Markkanen.
Is LaVine a superstar? He's meeting the superstar standards that we put into play.
Do you know what he needs, Dario? This is what he needs, my friend. Zach LaVine is how much does this guy weigh? 200 pounds. That's what I thought. I wasn't going to guess a pound over 200. He needs to go, and somebody we know very close says this statement pretty often, but he needs to go to the fucking weight room if he wants to be a superstar, and here's why. In the playoffs, as you and I both know, it's a little more physical, and it's way more intensive defensively. And I think whenever LaVine...
Kobe was an inch taller and only 5 pounds heavier and dominated.
Yeah, but...
I understand he's not Kobe.
He was 205 his whole career, Kobe. Yeah. He didn't put on any weight ever.
He actually was... that was when he put on weight, when he went to 205. He was like 195 when he was...
Well, yeah, so then I didn't know that part. He still put on weight, is my point.
Yeah, but my whole thing is like, he's only 5 pounds lighter, and he's an inch shorter.
I just think, like, I don't know. That's my opinion. I think
I thought I was totally expecting to see a 45%er, and like this is a year for him. Like,
yeah, he's having a crazy year, and it's been ever since he went to Chicago. He's been getting better and better and better.
Like
we do a lot of legacy breakdowns here on this show. When we're looking at stat lines like this is something that we see pretty often in guys that we do legacy breakdowns on.
Yeah. He's only ascended, like, and that's crazy. Like, average 28, 5 and 5. That's true. We say 25, 5 and 5 is like standard superstar level.
But are these numbers just good stats, bad team numbers? This is where we're going to find out. Because with Vucevic,
though, that's the whole thing. Is like he's still in the hunt.
Vucevic is a guy. Orlando's quietly been the 8th seed in the playoffs and made the playoffs for the past few seasons now.
Yeah,
and Vucevic is by far the reason. Like, he's the biggest reason for sure, and that's why this team's going. The Bulls are, I think, my favorite team from this deadline, and they made today. And I'm so happy for a guy like Vucevic who's just like been in Orlando, just like
Chicago about to be back on the map. Yo, all right now? Quick, the real question is LaVine
here we go.
Michael Jordan.
Oh, here we go.
Is he 28, 5 and 5?
He needs to put on weight like Michael Jordan. I'm comparing that much. That he needs to put on weight the way Michael Jordan. The same reason.
Jordan played at like 200 when most of his career, and then it was when he got those last 3 years.
No, when he before the first championship, after the Pistons, to beat the Pistons, he put on weight.
Yeah, but he didn't go 20. He was only at like 2. He was still.
Oh well, yeah. When he was in his late 30s, everybody puts on weight in their later ages, unless your name is LeBron James.
Yeah. But I'm saying well, he had to too, because he was like getting the shit beat out of him.
But that's part of the deal. That's why I think LaVine needs to put on weight, because I think in the playoffs where he hasn't really been yet, I think he will get beat up. I think that's how people will try to combat that. And I don't know if he's ready for that. Vucevic, I'm pretty sure he's ready for that. I've seen him have big games in the playoffs, even though obviously his team didn't really have a chance. Yeah. Like they were a team that was coming to play, and he was coming to play every night. So I'm really looking forward to Vucevic being on a team that matters. So I hope that LaVine is a stud, or at minimum a great second option, because I think he will be. Like
LaVine, the second,
I'm saying that's the worst case scenario. I'm saying the worst case scenario is he's a great second option for this fucking guy, who I'm sure could be a good first option. Like, I'm sure. But best case scenario, you have a dynamic duo from the heavens.
Yep.
Like, I'm
actually excited about
dynamic duo, if I've ever seen one.
What?
This is a 2021 dynamic duo.
If he could still do the 25-12, and LaVine could give you the 28-5-5,
you're chilling.
Literally, I'm not even trying to be stupid. That's literally Kobe Shaq.
But that's what I was about to say. It's only happened one other time in history. Well, 2 other times.
Three. I don't know if they could. I don't think they could win a chip, but they could make some noise.
Look, this league is pretty wide open.
Yes.
And if they can keep up scoring-wise with Brooklyn and play a little bit of defense, I'm saying, like you said, they're tough fucking out, and they'll make it very interesting.
Yeah.
But this is all speculation. For all we know, they can fucking take a nosedive.
I just really want to say this, though, because, like, I like, it's true. I agree with you 100%. It's wide open. But that shows literally the thumbprint that LeBron James has on.
There we go.
I'm not even trying to be stupid. Like that,
because he's in question and he's injured, so now everything's wide open.
Yeah. No, it's not just that. To me, it's not just that. I'm being honest. It's not just that. It's Kevin Durant. And I don't know what's going on with that guy. Got to see him play healthy again.
Yeah.
Fucking all those Kawhi Leonard. You never know when he's going to decide my leg hurts. Fucking.
That hasn't been an issue for like almost 3 seasons. But
okay, Clipper fan. So.
Wait, time out. He didn't miss 13, 14 games last year for no reason. Like, we're gonna act like that.
Oh yeah, because players don't rest and LeBron doesn't rest games.
The Prince of Load Management.
Not when you're 27.
He's not 27.
Like, what are we talking about?
Is Kawhi 27?
29, sorry.
Yeah, I was supposed to say. I think he's a little older.
Come on, he's not even 30 yet. Like,
oh look.